What's up, you guys? I've been gone for a little bit, so I was screwing around on here last night trying to feel out what the format was like. I actually had, at this point, never seen any of the new decks before. The only thing that I had done was read the description in Steam, so that's all the information that I went into this particular battle with. That's everything I knew about them, and that's kind of our stepping off point. That's setting the stage for this. So I was getting in here with Samurai because I actually do like this deck quite a bit. I was not crazy about this hand, but I was thinking that hopefully I'd draw some guys. Again, I wasn't sure what I was facing. I was figuring it'd probably be one of the new decks since we just kind of got in rotation. Just got the new decks coming out not that long ago. This guy, I think, mulligan, delays an island, so right away I figure it's the black-blue. I know that has a lot of recursion in it based on, what the description said. It pretty much was all about the graveyard and stuff, so I'm not too happy, because even though I'm running white, I don't have a lot of exile spells. I just have some fun stuff to do with, say, like Lightning Helix or something like that. So right now I'm just biding my time. Obviously I have one mountain, which means I can cast every red creature in my pile, so I'm really happy with that. The only color that I ever really need is white in this deck. Multiple white sources. I think maybe there's one or two cards that have two white sources that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. Gift of Estates is not especially good for me. I already have a lot of land right now, and there's not too much I can get going with it. I'd also have to discard some cards because obviously I am not going to have any other plays because I don't have any creatures in my Grease at this point. So we're just going to sit across from this guy. He's going to play this card that I don't recognize right away. We're going to look at it. It's got some exile bullshit, dubs up some guys, whatever. So we're pretty happy about this particular play, though, because I'm just reading it to make sure the way things are going to stack and be awesome is going to be pretty sweet with Lightning Helix. I can't play a creature right now, so I'm going to go ahead and pass turn, wait, see what happens. Because right now, all he's got is an 0-2. I'm not worried at all. At this point, I'm pretty sure that I can just keep gripping up and lay down a guy next turn. Now, unfortunately, the problem with that is that he is running black, so I'm fairly certain he's going to have removal for me. So the first thing I want to do is kind of test the waters a little bit and see what's going on that side of the field. So I lay this 1-1 because he can't actually block it because it'll kill this 0-2, and I don't think that's what he wants. He obviously wants to get a big fat dude onto this 0-2 and start punching me. Now, he has land problems as well, which isn't very good. But again, I was pretty happy with anything that was going on here because I'd never seen the deck before. Right now, it wasn't showing me too much. I have since learned that it is quite a bit better than this initial showing, but yeah. But right now, it's not doing too much. I don't really know what to say. Plus, I'm like choking over here, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, you guys. Moving on. It's going to be his turn again. He's going to sit with these 3 lands. I mean, right now, I'm feeling pretty good because I got Glory of Warfare. I don't really care about having the second one right now. I'm thinking about how I forgot to take one of them out to put in the Samurai that lets your guys untap. I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit. But later on in the match, we're going to see the Glory of Warfare is so awesome that maybe at a 4-drop, it does deserve 4 copies, but I'm not sure. Again, this is something that I was playing around with. The 3 copies might be the thing. I will say that this particular matchup is generally terrible for this deck because you don't have ways to get rid of big fat guys like Extractor Demon. So there's not a lot that you can really do if that kind of big scary stuff shows up. You don't have a lot of removal and stuff. This deck is like super underpowered when you take into account, the different format that they were planning on releasing. It's kind of weird that this deck looks the way it does. But right now I'm sitting pretty because I assume that on his next turn he's going to try and grab something out of the graveyard, put it onto the 0-2. That's why I make sure I have Lightning Helix up and ready to go because we're going to have a very fun time when he tries to utilize that thing's special ability. I forget to pass turn there. Oh, no, I just wanted to read some cards. I always read cards on their time. So I like to sit and make sure that the clock's still running on my side of the field when I start doing stuff. So he's got a couple different things that he can do. His yard is obviously lit up. At this point, I'm just kind of familiarizing myself with the cards over there. I'm still trying to look. A little confused, just a little stumbly bumbly. That's why I wasn't going to record these or show these off, but you know, I don't know. It's just something. This is my very first match back, so I decided that it would be very worthwhile to kind of take a look at it and kind of show you this burn trick. That fucker's dead, but it is going to go ahead and exile that card too, and that's some of the fun stuff that we were talking about. So I knew this was the graveyard pile, so the second I had the ability, I mean, we saw that going off and everything happening. Now this is where we start getting a little sad, because if you're good at the mathing, then you see that we have a very real issue brewing here, and something that I absolutely hate to do, which is take our opponents to 1. Not great. But anyway, yeah, the Lightning Helix thing, we'll come back to why this sucks, and you probably know why it sucks, judging from how long this video is, as opposed to him being at 1 right now. But the Lightning Helix thing just worked out really, really well, I think. Hidden Horror we're looking at. The Dimir Doppelganger thing was really, really sweet for me. I really liked that. I did not know this card was in that pack, so at this point I'm really fucking pissed off, actually, because he's at 1. So it's asking me to do all these triggers. I'm super pissed off about that. This Hidden Horror's back. It's starting to look really bad for me, even though I've got these 2 Glory of Warfares out, and now he's got Tidespout Tyrant down there. I'm starting to have a lot of trouble, but luckily I end up drawing into a pro black guy, so I'm still really worried about removal too, because I have no idea what's in this pile. I'm going to try and double down, because I want to have as many creatures out as possible, because I just have to hit him a little bit. So I'm putting that out there so that I can have the 6/2, maybe if he had like a sack effect or something, I've got the 2/7 to get rid of, you know. So I want to try and keep that pro black guy alive. That's why I laid 2 dudes. And also he's got blue, so I think maybe he can play a blue guy that's going to be able to get in there. And at the very least I can attack and try and get something going here. Now, we're going to hang here for a while. I don't know, he's reading or studying or what he was doing, contemplating pro black and its many. See, but he's got blue cards in there. So even at this point, I'm worried about unsummon. I'm worried about a ton of things that could go very, very poorly for me. So this guy's going to go ahead and start doing some stuff that makes me really sad. He's going to get this Tidespout Tyrant, obviously, because my guy is pro-black, which is garbage. So I'm going to read it again and be really sad every time I take a look at it. I probably should have made sure I wasn't going to choke to death while I was recording this. But anyway, we'll just, you know, I point out things and you guys probably wouldn't notice them usually. Like right now, I'm wearing a hoodie with a zipper, and the zipper's like done up to my neck because it's a weird hoodie, and I can hear the rattling from it like constantly, and I assume you guys can hear it, but you probably couldn't until I just pointed it out. So there you go. A little behind the scenes action of how my neuroses make this a way worse show. Right now he's playing a card that I do not recognize for shit, so I want to take a look at it, but the game is just like, hey, fuck you. He should just be targeting my 2/6. I don't understand why he's not. And then he targets the 2/7, so I'm like, what the fuck's this card do? And then all this shit starts happening. I'm like, what? He's just drawing some cards. So I'm like, okay, I don't understand why you didn't bounce my 2/6. What's going on there? Because he can block it with the 5/5, but then he has to kill that, and I don't know. If he had the ability to stop the potentially unblockable damage from coming in, he should have done it, so I'm really confused. But this deck doesn't really have a lot of answers for a 5/5, so maybe that's what he was figuring on. Maybe he was like, screw this guy, he doesn't have the stones to come at me anyway. Now I do bash here because I want to kill this 5/5. I don't know, maybe I should have kept the pro-black guy back, but he's got blue. I figured there's a potential for there to be a lot more blue guys in there. There's bounce, there's all sorts of things. I figure that the 2/2 to kill that guy is going to be fine, because right now, if I can guy down, I just have to do 1 damage to him, so I just have to play 1 more dude than he does. And that's kind of my philosophy right now. That's why I play these 2 guys, and that's why I killed that 5/5. The Tidespout Tyrant would have kept bouncing dudes back to my hand. So as a result of that, I figured that I really did need to kill it with that damage from the pro-black guy. And now I'm lamenting the fact that Living Death exists and being really sad about that. And I don't even know what fuck all he's doing. Yeah, nothing. He's a thinker, this guy. Nightbeat, the Necronomicon. He likes to think about things. About the world, about his life, decisions he's made. Maybe dropping out of law school wasn't the best idea. I don't know, Nightbeat. I'm not the man with the answers. I'm just the man who is trying to play Magic against you. I'm getting frustrated at the amount of time that he takes to make turns. But, you know, whatever. If he was doing better plays, then maybe. But I don't know why he didn't bounce that one guy. That's so weird. Stagger's going to play this f***ing asshole, so I'm unhappy about that too. So now I am kind of emotionally crushed. I got Intimidation Bolt, which might as well be worthless because it only does 3 damage and it's other creatures. It doesn't even say that creature, so if he wants to swing in against me, I can Intimidation Bolt the 5/5, but it still gets to attack me. It's just the 4/4 that doesn't get to attack, so obviously the 4/4 is the one that I would do that to. Plus the 4/4 is blockable, so Intimidation Bolt in that instance would be okay. But yeah, now I'm looking at Unearth, because I forgot what that did. It's been years since I've seen Unearth, so I'm like, okay, that's what that mechanic does. Things are not looking good for me at this point. I feel sad. Now I'm just counting his lands to see if I'm going to just freaking try and draw out some mana so that I don't draw it. Because there are some cards that I can draw here that are going to allow me to win. Literally anything that says to the face, so all I have to do is get another Helix and I'll be good. Like, I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff going on that would make me pretty happy. So I'm going to force the blocks here, going to take care of that. I know he's got, I don't know how many more of the bring everything back from the yard things he has, which could be really bad. I don't know how many creatures he has either, so it is possible that I have less creatures in my yard, because again, I just have to do 1 damage to him, so it would be kind of nice if I could bring everything back. I'd be able to get something going against him that way, but for right now, we're just sitting here being really sad. I'm counting creatures here. I'm trying to figure out what he's got. I'm still thinking of Gift of the States, because, you know, hey, if I get to play Gift of the States, that's fine, because at that point, I won't be drawing those lands. So that's where I'm at right now. I need to draw something great. And I think Gift of Estates is going to help me do that. It's going to shuffle up my pile. It's going to thin it out a little bit. I'm going to feel a lot better about my life. So the 5/5's back in town because of Unearth. It's got haste now and the ability to make me sad. But then afterwards it gets exiled, I believe. So we're not too worried about that. We are at 23 life, so I don't care about that. Hidden Horror comes out. So now at this point I'm like, I can Intimidation Bolt the Hidden Horror, and then the 5/5 just dies. And that's why I start freezing time and doing all this bullshit. And then I'm like, you know what? That's really stupid. I mean, I'm at 23 life. I can Intimidation Bolt the 4/4, sure. I don't get hit for 5. That's great. But next turn, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the 5/5 was going to die regardless. I'm going to Gift of Estates here because that's been the plan pretty much all along. Drawing that plans definitely did not change things. Right now, I know I'm in store to take quite a bit of damage, but I am pretty much taking the rest of the mana that I have in the pile, and now it's either in my hand or on the field. So I feel a lot better about that. My pile is a slim 33 cards now. I can at least draw a guy, and if I draw a guy, they're going to have high enough because of both Glory Warfare's out. They're going to have high enough attack or defense to either block or force a block on his part. Now the Exhume comes out, and I'm like, well, who do I have? I saw him mill me a little bit, and I see this home run hitting giant amazing man. So I exhume the out of that guy. I don't even care. So he gets his little 5/5 back. That I am very scared of because now he can bounce this guy. All I have to do is get to my untap step with this now 4/8 giant equipment grabbing beautiful bastard. But things start getting a little tricky here. Things start getting a little bad. Except he bounces that to his hand. And I still don't know why. I still don't know why for the life of me. Why did he want that back in his hand? Is that a misclick? Is that... I'm confused. Still. This is my second time seeing it. What the fuck were you doing? Body doubling... Why wouldn't you body double? I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't bounce my 4/8. Whatever. My point is, maybe I don't know what Tidespout Tyrant does. Oh, I was going to just go ahead and kill that 2/2, but then, whatever. That's why it said declaring attackers and blockers and attackers and everything. So now I'm super happy. I mean, I'm friggin' skipping right now. I'm so happy I'm spinning because I'm about to get to do one of my absolute favorite all-time things, which is the insta buff on this character here. So I'm going to go ahead and swing, which is amazing. He's 8/4. I'm like, what is this guy going to do? Probably block with the 4/4, right? Maybe the 2/2 chump. No, he wants to kill it, which is beautiful because that's even better because boom! Every time I get to do this, it makes me aroused. It is so awesome. Pow. So now here comes the question. Do I pro blue or get Jete? And here, to be honest with you, is kind of agonizing. I mean, everything's good in its own right, except freaking Sword of Bullshit and Peace or whatever. So I decide Jete, and then I'm like, you know what? That is so dumb, because I know he has Tidespout Tyrant in hand. Don't know why the fuck he did that last time, but the pro blue is going to be the difference maker here. That's what's going to drive this home. Now this guy's down there. The other thing I was thinking about is the fact that he is still in black, so there might be removal in there, but I haven't seen any removal yet. Makes me think that they decided that this pile would be too OP with removal in it, considering all the other shit it can do. He plays Tyrant, but I don't give a shit, because next turn I'm going to get going on him. Now this 2/2 can attack me, because that'd be foolhardy. Does he? I don't think he does. Yeah, okay. So I go ahead and kill that. I can't be blocked. Whoop-pop. Now I'm going to just go on over. And he doesn't even have to hit him for the whole full 10. He's just got to kind of tiptoe over and just kind of tickle him. Just tickle him a little bit. And that is game. So there you go, guys. That was my triumphant return. That was my first experience with that deck. I like the blue-black, but it seems like everybody's playing it right now, so I don't know if I'm even going to buy the DLC right away. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching this episode. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all on the next one.